Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Drug Nerd Podcast. I'm your host, Sophia. Welcome to the show. Before we get started, I just would like to share, if you haven't seen my newest design, Into the Wind, then I will have a link to where you can buy it on Lovecrafts and on Ravelry. And I'm going to have an affiliate link to where you can buy this wonderful airy lace weight yarn that I use to knit this cowlet. It is by the Yarn Collective. I'm going to have that linked below as well. And before we get started with the podcast, I also would like to share with you my new merch. Yes, I now have merch. I absolutely, positively love that you guys love it as much as I do. I will link my merch store below. And now, let's get started. Okay. So today we are going to talk about, do I regret quitting my job? Honestly, you want to know? You really want to know? Nope. I do not regret it at all. In fact, it was possibly the best thing I've ever done. Ever. I absolutely love. Why is my background so ugly today? Ugh. Oh, do you guys like my outfit? I may be pregnant, but I still got it. Anyway, now that my background looks a little bit less ugly, let's talk about why I do not regret quitting my job and why I recommend everyone try it at least once. So here's the deal. I started this business a year ago. 1 year. And when I started it, at first I wasn't ready to quit my job. In fact, it scared the bejesus out of me because the thought of losing that solid paycheck every single pay period is scary. But here's the deal. I knew I had to take a step to change in order to try a career path that was probably more suited for me and my lifestyle. So let me explain. Before I worked as a knitwear designer and as an overall badass, right, puppy? Puppy is sleeping. She is not into this. But before I started doing this, I worked as a preschool teacher full time. And, you know, it's not a bad job. It's just that I don't think it was 100% though for me all the time. I am a creative soul and I like to design, and I always knew that I really should be creating for a living. I feel like we're programmed to get that job and to work a 9 to 5 and to chase something that has benefits and vacation days and things like that. And that's all fun and great, but all that really means nothing if you're unhappy with what you're doing. And I find that conventional jobs for me makes me really unhappy. Not because I don't like working. I actually work a lot. I work pretty much every day of my life. If I'm not, now that I'm no longer suffering from the morning sickness, I am working every day of my life. No matter what I do, I am working nonstop. And so it's not that I was lazy, because a lot of people think, oh, you don't want a regular job if you're lazy. No, because the format is just not for me. I just find that it's easier for me to make my own schedule, set my own rules, and work at my own crazy fast pace. Hi, sweetie pie. And work with my pets all day long. And that might all sound great and fabulous, but at first it's really hard. When I first quit my job, it was hard. It was stressful. Luckily, we do live well below our means on purpose because we like to travel. Not that we traveled a lot, because since we moved here, I've been pregnant twice. So hello, travel who? But we like to travel, and so we prefer to live below our means. And I think that helped a lot, because when you first start your own business, trust and believe, you might not make any money at all. Okay, I was really lucky. I don't know what happened. I don't know who y'all are who bought my patterns first off, but thank you. But for me, I just got lucky. It is what it is. I got lucky. It's not like I did anything super duper special. My husband begs to differ, but I'm going to be real here. I got lucky and things took off faster than the average person. That's just it. It's just luck. It's not like I'm way better than anyone else or did anything super duper special. I just put in a lot of hours. I'm running out of breath. But yeah, I just worked at the pace that I prefer to work at, which happens to be super duper fast, no breaks, and just put it all out there. And it just so happened that y'all liked my aesthetic. And that's that. And I find that as long as you're in the thing that you like to do, and if you put a lot of work into it, it's not just about doing what you love, but it's also about putting the work into it. And when I mean work, I mean paying attention, coming up with new ideas, working on your marketing, working on your web presence, working on the actual product that you're selling, keeping your costs low and all that. But you're going to do it well because you like it. You get what I mean? It's not just about doing what you love. It's also about working at it as well and not giving up on it, because there are many times that I wanted to give up. Many times. Heck, even recently I was like, because now that we're going to become a family from how many pets do we have? We have like 4 pets and 2 humans in this house. Now we're going to be 2 humans, 4 pets, and a baby in this house very soon. And I was like, Jake, should I get a job and maybe do something that's a little bit more, you get that solid paycheck just for showing up type of thing? And he said, no, just keep doing what you're doing. Which, because even though I love what I do and it's fun, it's a great time, it can be a little scary to do this on your own and to be an entrepreneur, as they call it, on your own, because you don't have the same stability as someone who's working a regular 9 to 5. But you're trading that stability for a more fulfilling work experience. And for me, it was about the fulfillment versus the stability. I am privileged enough to have went to school, and I can always go back and get a job in what I went to school for. So that to me is just also a good backup. So if you are planning to quit your job, and if you decide to do what I did, which I don't recommend, is to quit your job before you have a steady flow of income from your side hustle, make sure you have a backup plan. I had a couple of backup plans. If you ever decide to quit your job and do your side hustle, say your side hustle is mine and that's knitwear design, do not rely solely on your patterns. Don't do it. Don't trust it. Trust me. This is a $7. This is a $7 pattern. How many of these patterns do I have to sell to make a decent income? And that's subtracting, the costs of my time of knitting and the actual cost of the what's it called? What do they do? The pattern editing, because I do hire editors for my patterns. Okay. You have to sell a lot of these things, man. And so you really don't want to set up that trap and say, okay, I'm going to make all my income off of patterns. Scratch that. Unless you are, what's her name? Andrea Mowry. No, stop. Just stop. And think and reflect, what else can I do on top of that? So when I first started, I did classes. Speaking of which, I'm going to have a new class coming up pretty soon. Hey, I'm so excited for that. So excited. But I started off with classes, and I started off with patterns, and I started off with YouTube, and I started off with I can't remember what else I did. Oh, affiliate links. So I had a few streams of income. So just in case if I had a bad pattern month, say if I didn't come up with a pattern that month, not that I come up with one every month, but say if I didn't have a standout in my pattern sales that month, then I have YouTube, and then I have my classes, and then I have my affiliate links and whatever to pull from. You get what I mean? Because it's not a set number, and we tend to rely on our set numbers when it comes to your income, because we have to, because that's what our mortgage and our loans and everything is based upon. And if that falls below because you don't have a set job, things could get scary. So that's why it's really important, if you do start this, to really, really, really start at a time in your life when you're able to live below your means. So, And I say at a time in your life because sometimes you already bought the house and the car and everything based upon what your current salary is. Well, when you first get started, you're going to have a dip in salary. It's just, it is what it is. Unless you already have like this genius thing that's already set up and all you got to do now is just quit your job. And you already got all your customers and you already got, the marketing out there. But chances are you're going to take a dip in your salary for the first year to 5 years of starting your own business. That's just how it is. And so if you already have a setup in your life where, like you've got all these set payments you have to make, it's not going to be doable. It's just not. You're going to have to really let go of aspects of your lifestyle. So for me, I used to, because we live below our means, I used to go shopping quite a bit. Not like spend a lot, but I would always go to the yarn store and pick up some yarn, or I would go in a Target and pick up a couple of tops or something like that. And I completely stopped doing that. I do not shop at all for myself. And I do not even buy yarn for myself anymore. Do not judge me. I get it all. Do sponsorships. Don't judge me. I see the judgment. Okay? I work for those sponsorships. But you know what I mean? Like, I do not spend my money anymore just because I've only been doing this for a year and I want to be sure that I'm keeping my income level right. So I changed my lifestyle. I changed it to the point of what shampoo I used. Believe it or not, I went from using a $10 shampoo to a $3 shampoo. Like, I really cut my costs every way possible. We only shop out all these. We used to shop out all these and then supplement with Whole Foods. Now it's like Whole Foods who? Like, Whole Foods is our date night extra time now, So we really cut a lot of that out, and that helps support me with my business. Another thing that I did that I highly recommend you do is that make sure everything you do is the cheapest way you can do it. So for me, selling my classes, let's start with that. Selling things online is expensive. That's why a lot of times the prices are expensive, because it costs, you actually have to pay a monthly fee to charge things on your website. And that monthly fee could be $20 to $40. Well, what if you're brand new and you're selling a $7 item and you only sell one of those? Guess what? You're in the hole. You are red. Okay. And then on top of that $20 that you have to give the company to sell products on your website, on your own website, you also have to pay for the domain name. You have to pay for like the service, like the web hosting service. Like, by the time you sell one pattern, you're in the hole like $100. And so you really have to be smart of where you sell. I do not use Squarespace. I do not use Shopify. Etsy is a pretty inexpensive way to sell things online, because I believe they charge you by how much you made that month, or I feel like it's like you pay like 50 cents or $1 or something for X how many weeks or months something is listed. I don't like Etsy for personal reasons. And those personal reasons is that I am not tech savvy, and I found that their website is very buggy. So I've closed down my Etsy shop just because it's just too buggy. I can't do it. But a lot of people found so much success on it that I can't completely knock it. And it's definitely one of the cheapest places to sell your product. Also, another cheap place to sell your product is Ravelry. And of course, to sell on Ravelry, it has to be a pattern, whether it's video or PDF format. But Ravelry has the best seller rates. And, and they only charge you based upon how much you made that month. So if you didn't make nothing, like, I don't even think they charge you anything, really. It's great. But for me, I sell my classes online, and then I have my merch. Now, I haven't had my classes open since I've been pregnant, just because I really want to revamp some things, and I've been feeling kind of whale-ish and tired and nauseous, and I can't look at a screen for too long, and just a list of complaints. So I haven't opened my classes just because I want to be available to y'all who take them, because They are a little pricey, but you are getting what you're paid for. I'm just letting you know. Getting your money's worth. But to have my classes online, where was I going with that train of thought? Was I talking about why I sell them online on my website? So I use Wix as a web hoster, and I found them to be really cheap. Cheap sounds so bad. It's not that it's cheap and that you're getting poor quality product. You're paying less for a really good quality product. I used to work with Wix. Wix is amazing. And I started using them because their domain names pricing and their hosting pricing and their the pricing that it costs to make a shop on Wix is very affordable. Yay! And it's really easy to cover that cost. So, roundabout way of saying all this, make sure you shop around. And unfortunately, a lot of times to find how much things really cost, you have to give everyone your flipping email. Squarespace, stop notifying me. I don't want to open up a shop with you. I can't afford it. Stop. So just keep it cheap. And I found, like, I took advantage when I first started. I took advantage of sales. Like, Knitpicks has everything on sale, but with Knitpicks, oh my gosh, don't kill me. Knitpicks will never come for me again. Like, Knitpicks will never sponsor anything. I'm going to keep it real. With Knitpicks, you're getting what you pay for. For better or for worse, you're getting what you're paid for. Even at sale price, you're not coming out like a bandit. If it's $1 on sale, that thing is worth $1, and that's all I'm gonna say. Curtains closed. But I took advantage of that. What else did I do? Like, I just really tried hard to take advantage of when things were cheap, and I never bought things that I didn't need. So say if I knew I needed something in 6 months, I would wait, because you never know when that thing goes on sale, and you never know if you don't actually need it. Okay, so just keep my spending in check. So with all that, even though I'm juggling a lot with money and I'm juggling a lot with all these new, I have a lot of designs that I'm just gonna, like, literally, I want to say blow out there. I almost said something else, which is kind of gross. But I have a lot of designs that are ready to go, that are coming out this fall and winter and spring and what have you. And through how busy I am, I'm super busy, but no matter how busy I am and no matter how little I could make some days, especially when I have severe morning sickness. Like, when I had morning sickness, there's no sick days being an entrepreneur. So you just have to accept taking a hit. It is what it is. And that's just part of it when you're a one-woman show. But all through that, I do not regret it. And I recommend everyone, if you are at a time in your life where you're looking around, okay, and you don't have a ton of bills, and that's a privilege. I am not, that is a privilege to say that. And you don't have a ton of bills, or, like your kids are grown, or you're at a transitional period in your life, it might be time to take that leap of faith. And if you have taken that leap of faith before in your life, please comment below. Let me know. Have you ever quit your job to do your side hustle? What did you think afterwards? Did you regret it? I sure as hell don't. It honestly was the best thing I've ever done. So, thank you, y'all, for joining me today. Don't forget to check out my links below. Oh, and don't forget to be a patron. I'm going to link that below too. And I will see you on Friday. Bye.